Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. I'm up here on the big lake, Lake Ray Roberts, home of the 2025 Bassmaster Classic. And hopefully we're going to catch something on this cloudy, chilly day. And this is one of my little sneaky spots. And the water's way up since the last time I was here, so hopefully we'll catch something. Normally I can walk this shoreline all the way around, but it's good to see the water level up. It's going to be fantastic. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name's Alan. I appreciate all the support. Channel's growing, having a lot of fun fishing and making videos. So hopefully today we'll get onto something. This is one of my little hand-tied smeltnators with some hair on there, and it'll fluff up in the water. And then I've got like a little bit of a scented Senko on the back of that thing. And it's just a hair jig that I swim along. You can kind of see it there. And it's been pretty productive for me. I enjoy throwing it. I've got this on the Victory 12-pound braid, 12-pound fluoro. And, you know, we'll see what we can come up with and catch. I really enjoy coming up to this lake. I know people are like, hey, you're gonna be spot burning. No, this thing is so big that it doesn't really matter where you go. Ooh, look at that, I had a chaser. Yeah, we're about ready for the pre-spawn, so this is actually like a spawning flat through here. So in just a few weeks, you'll probably have some spawners starting to move in. First week of March is the earliest I've ever seen them spawn up here in this part of the state. They're probably already spawning or close to it in the southern part of the state. So how do I fish this guy? Well, slow roll it, bounce it along the bottom. There's different ways, but usually I just kind of swim it. And if I do pause it, because it'll flare once it hits, you know. But I love using the little smeltnator on the back of that from Northland Tackle. One of Gussie's secret weapons. And it works really well. Not a lot of boats out here due to the weather, which is kind of nice, not having to deal with all the boat traffic. I've got some monster crappie right out in this spot, throwing a jackhammer stealth blade. So whatever the reason is, this pocket right in here, big crappie love to hang out. I've caught fish here in just about everything. Crankbaits, jerkbaits, lipless crankbaits, swim baits, all kinds of different things. I've got this Sakamata shad in from Depths in the 8-inch, and I've been playing with that a little bit. Man, that thing is fun to throw. I may break that out here to see if we can get something to bite on it. I like throwing this little hair jig because I can catch both crappie and big bass. That thing's got a nice flash to it with that head on there. Alright, boys, we're hooked up on a big Joshy swim bait underspin. There we go. Right along the rocks there.
Good fish.
Water is not that cold.
Caught a bass, kid.
Check him out right there. So there we go. That's a nice one on the big Joshy. Off he goes. So this is what I was using, just on the underspin right there. Pitching it in there right along the rocks here. I've been throwing the lipless and red color. I've been throwing the craw, OG7, slim, all kinds of different baits. Nothing was doing. And finally, on this one, on the big Joshy, I can't remember what size this one is. It's the 3, maybe it's a 2.5. But anyway, just pitching it along there. A Ray Roberts special is what I call those. I usually have good luck right in this cove and along those rocks there. Let's see if we got any more. Goofing around. No. Nothing there. So I start doing fan casting here, 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 and then all the way around. And on the falls, sometimes you'll get a hit because it thinks it's like a dying bait fish. So don't forget about the fall. Still working this point, guys. There was a guy and his 3 daughters and a little infant, and he was all yelling, "That's a nice bass," and the kids were like, "Ooh, we caught a fish." Kind of reminds me of when my sweetheart, I took her fishing back in September, and I hooked into a big bass. Almost the same thing. "Ooh, you got a fish." She was all excited about it, and then I had her on a Senko and she caught a nice bass, and then I did that. I was like, "Oh, you got a nice fish." Anyway, yeah, she did a good job. So I'm still working this. It's a big Joshy, 1/4 ounce little underspin. So I just got to keep pitching it around. It looks like the sun's gonna start coming out. So sometimes I'll just let it sit there on the bottom because the tail will be up, and I'll just hop it, twitch it a little. Because if there's, came over to swim at it and look at it and they're staring right over it, then I'll just kind of bounce it a little, and then I'll start cranking, swim, and then I'll stop, swim, and then stop, and just keep it going. So that usually works pretty well. I've caught a ton of fish off this point, like I was saying, sometimes crappie, sometimes bass. You can kind of see the sun's wanting to poke out up there. Look at that. Big Texas sky. This little cove here, I've got a modified MEPS. It would be a Comet Minnow, but it's an Aglia with a Lake Fork live magic shad that I like to use on a size 3. You can see that it's got some nice action. So what I'm going to do is I need to get my footage of when I went down to the world's largest flea market in Canton, Texas, and got some old school lures. I need to put that in one of these videos, so I'll probably attach it to this one. So you'll see that coming up. But that was good. It was good fun down there. I'll have to go back sometime. I had a lot of time to spend there, but it was, they didn't quite have a lot of the booths open because we had a big snowstorm the weekend before, so there was still you know, it's cold weather, so not a lot of the shops were open. But I'll have to go back and check it out, see what's going on there. So that's gonna wrap it up here from the lake, and I'll take you straight to my day looking for old lures in Canton, Texas, at the world's largest flea market. Here we go. Here's a map. So we're at this trade days in Canton, the world's largest flea market. So we got to try to navigate this thing. So there's the arbors. That's where I'm starting. Trade centers, all these different booths are here. So we're gonna go in here and try to find some fishing lures. Thanks for hanging with me, guys. Let's see what we can come up with. Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. This is an adventure where we're gonna do some shopping and hopefully find some fishing lures. All right, let's get started. All right, guys, check out these lures. I gotta try to remember them. Devil's horses, miscellaneous. We got top waters, dive baits. I've got some picked out. Betsy's holding them for me. What is it? $6, $4 each. Let's see what we got in here. You know me, I'm a sucker for bombers. Look, this guy right here. That's pretty cool. That one's pretty cool. I definitely may have to come back and take a look at these. Oh my gosh. Rayburn Reds. Look at that. All the lipless. Big muskie. Okay, these are $3 each, and I've got one. I pulled one out of there, and these are cool. I got a Smithwick out of there. All right, guys, so I got the lures. Now I'm heading across the yard here to look at a couple more things and head into a couple more buildings and then head on out. So far, so good. Man, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Look at that guy, it's an armadillo. He's digging around for grubs. See him? Yeah, he's kind of friendly. Look at him. That's pretty cool. There he goes. When he crossed the sidewalk, you could hear his nails. Click, 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 click. That's pretty good. Well, if you see that, you know where I'm at. And if you see the big bass over there, you know where I'm at. I made a couple videos from here. This famous spot. There's Mr. Turtle just chilling there. He needs to be hibernating. Getting down in the water or in the mud. One of the two. Alright, see you later, Mr. Turtle. Have fun. Alright, guys. We made a pit stop for crappie fishing that nothing doing. So now I'm throwing a jig along this riprap. We'll see if we get any takers. Alright guys, I'm throwing a rattle trap. Man, I was doing my beetle spin, jig spinner for crappie, nothing. I mean, nothing. We have a cold front come through the last 2 days, but then look. See the flags, wind straight out of the south now. The flags are there for, out of respect to President Carter. Always kind of a somber situation with something like that. So I'm throwing the old Strike King Red Eye Shad, this old gold. Man, I've had a lot of luck with this old gold color. So I'm just fan casting. I was out deep. And there's crappie in here that'll hit that thing. I've got that that good size of bass will crush it and crappie. The thing is, there's big drum in here too, gar. I don't know if there's spotted bass in here. There might be. I guess the whole country's getting ready for this Polar Vortex that's supposed to be coming in. That's the other thing about these Strike Kings. You can cast them a country mile. Next week, the Polar Vortex. All right, boys, check it out. North Texas, we never get snows like this. Maybe once every couple of years. That big snowmageddon was the last one. But check that out. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look down the alley here. I don't want to mess up the pristine driveway. Crunch, crunch. Now, when I was in Amarillo, we had snow like this several times a year. There's a maintenance city truck down there. Everyone's all paranoid and freaking out about the snow. Anyway. Alright, there you can kind of get a look at that. Alright, so I got my big snow shovels from Iowa that I used in Amarillo, and I may set the camera up in here while I'm snow shoveling. In reality is we could just let it melt away because it'll warm up pretty quick in the next day or so. But anyway, it's pretty cool. No fishing today. Of course, there's no school. All the kids are going bananas because it's a snow day. And what it looks like right now is got like 2.5 inches easy. Maybe even 3. All right, I'll check back in with you guys later. All right, here's a view from the front. You can kind of see it working its way through. It's kind of peaceful. Very interesting. All right, we'll check. Now get out there and get your lures wet.